It's another Saturday. Welcome to the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio with yours sincerely, Sonny Duke Okosun. Today on the program, a major focus is the launch of a new security outfit in southwestern Nigeria. And that took place on Thursday. There's been reactions and counter-reactions. And this is something that many have talked about in the days gone by, the years gone by, weeks, months gone by, that we need to have these structures in place to contend and contain the security challenges that we have. Because it looks like all the structures that we have in place, they are not really yielding the needed result. One of the biggest problem has been that the security structures that we have cannot really go into the inner cities, the inner environment to be able to unravel some of these security challenges. Well, Southwestern State seems to have taken the lead in that direction. We'll be talking more along those lines. But again, we want to look at the state of the nations and the projections for the year 2020. The year is finally come. I know that some years back, maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago, we'll hear things like, well, by the year 2020, we're going to have stable power supply. We're going to have stable water supply. We're going to have universal health coverage. A whole lot of projections were made. But today, where are we in all of those projections? But 2020 is here. As a year, a single year, what can we do? What can we do? I beg your pardon. Let me welcome our panelists very, very specially. From my immediate left, Barrister Gentleman Amego is an APC chieftain in Edo South and also a public affairs commentator. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Duke, for having me.
We also have with us in the studio a former Edo State governorship candidate. Is a politician and also an educationist and an author. I'd like to thank very especially Bishop Akhalame. Many thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Sir Duke. Good morning, viewers.
We also have with us in the studio the GO of Heavenly Vision Ministry. I'd like to thank very especially Bishop Osadolo Oche. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me. Viewers and listeners at home, Happy New Year. God bless you and bless this year for us.
Okay, let me start off with Bishop Akhalame. Bishop, looking at the year 2020 that we're in, what are your projections against the background of how this year has been talked about in years past?
Thank you very much, Duke. We cannot look at 2020 without looking at what has transpired in 2019. So let's look at it from there. Then we can now say, oh, let's see what we can do, what we are expecting 2020. And I can put it to you that 2019 was a year that came to Nigeria with so much agony, so much pain, so much poverty, bad governance. Nigeria were hoping to get the best. Best they did not get. Electricity, people have to power whatever they have in the house with their money, and they are being coerced by the disco authority, whatever you call them, disco company, to pay their NEPA bill without giving them what they are paying for, which is the power. When we come to education, it is no longer in news that so many, in fact, a lot of strike from the university, colleges of education, polytechnics, 2019. Our students were at home. They will come back, they rush them to write exams. And we want to have a better society. That notwithstanding, we have, go to our education, go to our health sector. Nothing is just working there. We have deficit medical infrastructures. All the infrastructure there have decayed, that to the extent that those who were supposed to fix them, they travel out of the country where they have headache. Now we are here again. What are we talking about? Projection. Looking at what we want in 2020. I put it to you that 2019, the inflation, the kind of inflation Nigeria experienced, is the kind of inflation I have ever seen before in my existence in this earth. Hyperinflation, where you can no longer buy anything. That even though you are a salary up to 300,000 naira, you cannot just afford anything. It was as bad as that. Now, what is my projection? I am not craving for maybe all those good things you've just mentioned, education, electricity. No. My projection has to do with the leaders. If the leaders, we have good leaders in power, all these things we are talking about will just come naturally. What is that? Our leaders have to know, if you're a politician, you want to take an office, you want people to vote for you and become a governor and become a president or a member of House of Assembly, House of Representatives, or a senator, you should know that politics is not a business venture. That politics is not an economic activity which has to do with the exchange of values. Okay. Let me give you, then you give me a vote, then when I become a governor, I begin to tell you, I begin to recoup. It is not like that. Yeah. They should know that as you are coming in as a governor or as a president, it's a call to service. Okay. You are to serve the people. You are to fix the people's problem. Not coming there. It is not a profession when you have to call, thank God I am not a governor. It is important for me to build housing for myself. It's important to increase my coverage from 20 to 40 and have 25 police officers follow me. It is not like that. Okay. It's a misplaced priority. Then, lastly, we should know that once you are a leader, you should create what is called landmark for your generation. By creating what is called a lasting legacy. By taking the torchlight of civilization to the next generation, so that even when you're no longer there, people can say, oh, when Duke was governor, oh, whoa, things were better.
Okay, all right.
So that is where we can, because when we have this kind of people.
So this is your projection for 2020? So
we have this kind of people, we have good power, we have electricity, good style education, good roads. People who want to serve, they know what to do.
Okay, let me pause you there. But gentleman, Amego, what are your retrospections for 2019 and then projections for 2020?
Well, when you talk of projections in this country, go back like Bishop, go back and say, what have we achieved to build on what we earlier achieved? It is what we achieved and we're going to make projections into the future. Now in this country, tell me, is it that we have made good roads, so many roads? Is it that we have electricity? Is it that we have stable schools? What have we achieved since 1960? If we have not achieved anything since 1960, what is the need for the projection? Look at as easy as light is, power is in this country. These things are built. They don't go to the market to buy it. Can't one president of all the presidents we have had in this country please go to the market and say, oh, we need X, Y, X, Y, Z. Build it for us in 2-3 years. And then make payment. By gradual procession, you make the payment. But nothing like that. It's just that, like he said, everybody goes there to enrich his pocket. This wealth we are all claiming, I'm anxious to get. What are we going to use it for anyway? What are we going to use it for? But service to the people remains legacy. Even after you people begin to mention your name. If you tell me what we have achieved, then I'll tell you our projections. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, it is zero in this country. Leaders we have had, I'm sorry, whether they are leaders or servants of the people, I don't even know. Look at, for example, look at the road from Benin to Lokoja when it was awarded. When was it awarded? You know it. East-West Road, when was it awarded? What does it cost a president or government to say, contractors, come, go back to the road, complete that road? The problem we have in this country today, herdsmen, kidnappers and all that, they stop you where the roads are bad. But if the roads are good, nobody will stop you because you can run into all of them.
Absolutely.
So what does it cost? Okay, Mr. Contractor, every month, a billion is nothing to us in this country. I'll give you $1 billion every month. Please, I want this road completed in 3 years. There's nobody who has come out to say so. And the road remains like that. Even the area we have constructed are still not there. Now you can't go by road to Lagos, you can't go by road to Abuja because you're afraid of your dear life. Is that what you want to project on? So we are watching them, okay. But hopefully one day we shall get somebody who will say, no, enough is enough.
Okay, so certainly the projections is not starting in 2020. But let me get Bishop Musadolo. What are your thoughts along those lines?
Thank my brothers and my very good friend. You see, we have been able to identify our problem. any problem you identified, 50% solved. If our leaders are ready to listen. The problem we have is that our leaders are not listening to the yearnings, the cry of the citizens of this country. What makes a nation develop is power, electricity. Once a nation is able to get constant supply of electricity, you will see the nation developing by itself. Not everybody that will write application to government or to industry, barber can do his job perfectly well. Tailor can do his job perfectly well. Welder can do his job perfectly well. Among so many other artisans. Even a furniture maker. Even in your farm, as a farmer, you need light to preserve some of your foods,
Your products.
Your products.
Yeah.
And if there is no light, you have tomatoes, you have other privileges. Before you know it, within 1 week or 3 days, it's gone, it's rotten. And that is a colossal loss.
Absolutely.
So what we should appeal to our people in government, they should remember that power is transient. It comes and it goes. But one thing that will not go is your name. Either they are remembering you for good or they are remembering you for evil. Whether you are alive or you are dead, your name will remain in the mind of people. So if that is what happens, let our leaders, if you are a president, have a blueprint of what you want to do. Because today, the politics we have no ideology, have no blueprint, have no program that you can tie a political party to say, this is the ideology of this party. It's a crash landing one. Anytime you see me, you love me, say you come and tap my road. Whether it's in the budget or not in the budget, yes. It does not mean anything. And in those days when I was younger as a civil servant, there is what they call misappropriation of funds. Today they practice misappropriation, nobody asks questions, nobody cares.
That's true.
So what we should be appealing now is that they should, even if in 4 years of somebody's tenure, what is able to give to Nigerian people is electricity, this country will do well. We have men and women that have brain, that are well gifted by God to do so many things by themselves to develop the environment and to develop the society. But they are handicapped because of lack of power, number one. Number two, movement of goods and services is either by air, by rail, by sea, or by land. Yeah. You go to the air. The first time I traveled out of this country, when I came down from Abuja airport, I shook my head because it was not an air, what do you call it, airport. When you look at the facilities in other airports internationally.
That was then. Things have changed now. Yes.
My dear,
yes.
If you think it has changed, are they too stagnant? Are they not improving on their own? Every day they are improving on their own facilities.
Okay.
Now, you go to our road. Our road today is a death trap in all standard. One Reverend Father said we should no longer pursue those winch that we know in our villages and our environment that fly, because those ones have no power to do anything again. The current winch now in Nigeria and principalities in Nigeria are people who are holding political positions and are in government. They are the winches now that we must concentrate to pray against. A man they gave money to do road and they pocket the money, and somebody is traveling. He jump into a pit on the road and die. Is it the winch that fly like that that killed the person? It is the winch that refused to do the road that took the money. So they should concentrate on giving us good road. Because if there is good road, cost of movement of goods and services will
drastically reduce. Yeah. All right, let me pause it there, Bishop Osadoloche. If you just join us, it's still Politics Today, and it's reaching you live on independent television and radio. And you know, as a tradition, in the latest stage of the program, our studio will be open, studio line will be open, so you can call and also contribute to our discussions today on the state of the nation projections for 2020. But I did say at the beginning that the major focus, the major thrust of today's program will be on the new southwestern Nigeria security outfit, which is called AMOTEKUN, and it stands for the Leopard. Now, interestingly, the launch took place on Thursday this week. 6 states in southwestern Nigeria came together to put that outfit together. 3 of them were present at the launch, and the other 3 cited weather conditions for their inability to attend. But whether they attended or not, this launching took place, and the outfit has started running. But again, it has attracted a lot of reactions from the north, from the south, from the east, and all parts of the country. But the governors are saying that this is a clear response to the carnages, the kidnappings, the armed robbery, several attacks that they've experienced in recent time without getting commensurate response from those in charge of the authorities. And I mean, we recall that last year there was a case of the death of the the daughter of the leader of the Pan-Yoruba group, talking about Feni Fayapa Adefanti, and that also kept tongues wagging. So, what are your thoughts? Our panelists will do justice to this. Now, are we gradually coming back to what a whole lot of people have been talking about in recent time, that we need to have state police? Those who put this together are saying this is not to struggle power with the established security outfit or organizations, but to complement this, to complement them. How feasible is this? How workable is this? Let me again start with Bishop Akalame.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
You see, when the issue of state police came aboard, I was one of those panelists on this program that spoke against it. I personally, I am not with the idea of having state police. My reasons are very clear, very obvious. We are not yet matured for state police because of the greed of our politicians, because of the greed of our leaders.
Well, I needed you to zero in on the coming into existence of AMOTEKUN, the Southwest Security outfit that has been launched.
Yes, I am coming there. Okay. I am coming there.
Yes, I need you to go there because of time. Okay.
You see what happened? When the security summit took place last year in that same region, when 6 of the states came together,
yes,
the Inspector General of Police was not there, but he was represented by a senior police officer in that place. Then all the 6 commissioners were in attendance, and all the governors in that region were all there. But this one, to me, is political. It has a political undertone. Don't forget that the pioneer of that new security outfit, which is the governor of Ekiti State, he has the ambition of going to Aso Rock. I'm not the one to tell you, a journalist. So, the worries I have right now is this. This plan is not in agreement with what is in presidency. Because the presidency has gone against state having state police. Now you are coming in this way, collaborating effort to have
a security network for the region.
For the region.
Okay.
On 1st of January this year, a lot of workers in Ekiti State were sacked just for the implementation of the new salary structure, which is the minimum wage, that the governor cannot pay. They can't pay. Now, the question is this. You cannot pay salary of this, you cannot pay a minimum wage of 30,000 naira to workers. And even go to Oshu, in that same region, they were owing staff almost 8, even 15 months. Now you want to add this youth to it. So that when you can no longer pay them, then they become a security threat to the people. Don't forget they are holding arms. The day you don't pay them salary, you don't give them what they're supposed to do because this money is not there, what will they do? They will make use of the arms they have to victimize the public.
Isn't this being presumptive? I mean,
It
the launching took place on
no.
The operation has not even gone
You see,
and you're already talking in this direction.
You see, God, we know ourselves.
You know yourself.
We know ourselves.
You know yourself.
No. See.
Bishop, you know yourself, yeah.
We know ourselves. We know what is going to happen. We have said it in several times that if we mistakenly have state police, that the governors will use it to their advantage during elections. We don't even need it. Then two, you can't pay salary. How will you fund? How will you fund them? How will you pay the salary?
So are you in any way concerned about the security challenges that has been in operational in that region?
Good. Do you know why we have that?
Yes.
We have leaders. It's because you can become a leader. Leaders must have what is called high degree of intellectual capacity. You should be able to think out of the box. You must be creative. You must be proactive. You should know what to do. The root cause of our security problem today in Nigeria is unemployment. The youth are not busy. They say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Duke, just drive out in the afternoon. You come and see some corner, you see youth. No job. Most of them, they have gone to university. They have first degree, 2-1, first class, no work. Okay. Some of them, they went to polytechnic. Okay. So the issue now is, our leaders are afraid to go to the root cause.
Which is unemployment.
Unemployment. They try to create job for these people. Create an enabling environment for these people. Okay? I have argued this. So people will tell you that government have no business with business. So because of this, the only thing they know how to do is to have to run to Abuja to get allocation. They will run back to the state. Once the allocation got finished, then everybody had to sit down. Okay, they can't do anything.
Let me proceed there, Bishop Akalame. I'll come back to you shortly. But gentleman Amego, what are your thoughts? What are your perspectives?
Well, it is very troubling. It's a very troubling situation. It is like the old adage, I'm between the deep sea and the devil. The deep sea you don't want to go into, the devil you don't want to have an interaction with. So you don't know what to do. What has happened in the Southwest is flagrant disrespect to the law of this land. Now, the question is, why have they now disobeyed the law? Why are they not working within the ambits of the law? They have a problem. All of us in the state, we have similar problems, and all of that. Now, how do we get out of this problem? That's how they got to work and say, okay, AMOTEKUN. If you have not experienced what these cows do to our farm, then you cannot say anything about it. But if you have experienced it, then you say AMOTEKUN is welcome. But it's the setting up of AMOTEKUN within the law, the answer is no. But how can they save lives and properties of people in the Southwest? That's how AMOTEKUN was born. It is the responsibility of these governors to govern their people, to secure their people. But the end of it is going to be very disastrous. So that's why I'm surprised that those in governance at the federal level are just keeping quiet. I'm not saying disband AMOTEKUN. I'm saying think of a solution, please. Our people do not sleep with two eyes closed anymore. 2 days ago, I had an organization, which is also in fact set up by law, organization of herdsmen, asking their people, don't graze at night. They are just coming up with kidnapping, robbery, and all that. The main issue is herdsmen, because they are the killers today in this country. Oh, don't do it at night. They didn't even say, don't do it in farms. Say, don't do it at night. But when you do it in the day, you can go to anybody's farm and ravage everything.
They didn't say that either.
They didn't say that either. And what the law is, and in any case, they don't even have force of law. Mm-hmm. What they are saying is only just being persuasive, persuading their colleagues, please don't do grazing at night. Yeah. It's meaningless. Has government mentioned that? Please don't graze at night. Not just say, please don't graze at night. Not to talk of don't enter farms. How did we get it? We have always had cows in this country. The cowmen themselves prevent the cows from entering farms. Okay. When we were growing up, we saw them. Yeah. So today, sir, the setting up is troubling, but not setting up is also more troubling. So it's between the deep sea and the devil. Okay.
So Bishop understands spiritual things, so maybe you can give us some spiritual insights into this. But I want to look at it from this perspective. Have we created the grounds for AMOTEKUN to come into existence in view of what has transpired in the country, particularly in the southwestern region in recent times?
It's a drastic sickness, a very dangerous sickness, need a drastic action. Because federal government have not yielded to the cry of the citizens of this country. That is why we are getting to where we are going to. To me, yes, in Nigerian law, it's illegal for states to have their own police or security outfit. But considering the failure of the system, that government ought to protect lives and property. That is the primary aim of governance. In my village in October here, 2 women went to farm, they were beheaded. They were beheaded. Now, they have family. They have friends. Do you think those people will see cattle rear and be happy? So the only way is to put it like my brother said, the Dead Sea, the dangerous sea, the sea that man will dread, say, I may not come back, and the devil. Stay in between the two of them and see whether you can have a safe landing. Because the Southwest have done a survey and have been able to come out with a report that they have 1,000 something camp of these Fulani herdsmen in their entire South region. Is it not an information for federal government to work on?
Precisely.
So, okay, if you say so, come and show us. And if you show us, we will dislodge them. Do they do anything? Instead, they are defending what should not be defensible. How do you defend a criminal? Every robbery that takes place on our Nigerian road, every finger is pointed to Fulani herdsmen. It should worry the president. Why is it that everywhere somebody is attacked or killed, a particular tribe or people or sect is being referred to as the people behind such crime? If the government keep mute, they are not bothered, then it becomes to your tent, O ye Israel.
Right.
Whatever it takes for you to defend yourself to be alive, employ it. That's what the Southwest have done.
Okay.
So I encourage them, and also encourage every
You encourage them.
every other region.
That's you're encouraging lawlessness, because you said a while ago that yes, you know this is illegal or it's unlawful.
No, I said it
Yes.
it is not constitutional.
Yeah, it's not constitutional.
I didn't say I didn't support it.
Anything that is not constitutional is unlawful.
No, you can amend
Yes.
it as you are progressing. Once we begin to identify the ease of the problem, we
Yes.
amend. But as it is today, for us to sleep with our 2 eyes closed, we need it.
Okay.
Even in Edo State.
All right, let me come to Bishop Akhalam. One of the major challenges, I mentioned in my opening statement that it seems to be that even the current security architecture that we have is the fact that access to the core places where there are things going on, where crimes are being committed, is very challenging. And that may be unconnected with the fact that either those who are sent are not very familiar with the terrain, they're not used to the culture, the environment, and stuff like that. I heard the governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, saying that this is one of the reasons why this Western region or Western Nigeria security network was formed, to help to complement other security agencies to ensure that when crimes are committed, either the perpetrators are brought to book or it's even nipped in the bud. Because they say the best way to actually take care of crime is to prevent it from happening. Because most time when it happens, a lot of damages would have been done. So I'd like to get your thoughts along those lines.
You see, Mr. Duke, there's something that has been in existence for a very long time now, which I love so much. Some time ago, I have said it that if we must get it right, like I just said, that there are some security challenges in some remote areas which the police and the soldiers you have today are not very familiar with. Now, it is the duty of those the habitat of such community to actually work in hand with the security agent to curb such security threats. Now, it now become very incumbent on every community. They have what is called vigilante group in each of these communities you see today. What they have to do is that they shouldn't do it in a way of putting what laws into their hands. What happened with, have you not seen this new security outfit that these guys were giving guns? I don't know if you have seen them. Yes. They were giving weapons. That's what happened there with. So what I'm talking about is this. If every community have their own vigilante, they can feed the security agencies information of how the happenings in their communities. Okay. Then the security agent cannot act upon the information or give it to them and respond immediately. So by the time you now come aboard to say, oh, you are launching your own new security outfits in a region, I can tell you that as at yesterday now, about the North already, they are coming together to say, oh, they want to have similar security outfits. As at yesterday. Yeah. So after that, you see that the East will come again. The South will say, oh, we want to have this.
So what becomes of the substantive?
So what are we now saying is that, are we now saying that the one we have already, they are not functioning? They are. So if government wants to say, oh, I want to do a very good job, all you have to do is that empower the police officers we have in our state. Empower them. When you empower them, do not just limit them to what they are getting from federal. Empower them. Okay? When you empower them, they work hand in hand with those communities, not those community heads with their vigilante. Then you can feed them with information which they are not familiar with. Then they cannot operate most effectively. So the action of coming up with, if you look at that, the inauguration that happened that day, the Inspector General of Police was not there, and he was not represented. About 3 governors of that region, the governor of Lagos State, the governor of Osun State, and the governor of about 3 governors were not there. So the inauguration was limited to about 3 governors: Ekiti State, Ondo, and
but they contributed.
The launch took place,
and they contributed. I mean, you saw a while ago. You see shortly the vehicles.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
If such security event is taking place, and the Inspector General of Police was not there, and it was not represented, what do you call it? Because I was even told that a day before the event, that the pioneer of such event, which is the governor of Ekiti State, flew down to Abuja to get the support of the Inspector General of Police, and he was not there and was not represented. So to me, such events that have taken place that have to do with security without the presence of the IG is fake. It's fake. It shows that the presidency is not.
How do you call an event of this nature fake?
It's fake.
With all the governors there, at least 3 governors. Hold on, 3 governors there. With all the vehicles that have been acquired, the personnel that have been acquired, you say it's fake.
Who is the head of security in Nigeria? Who is the head of security in Nigeria? If such event is taking place, like I told you, I said such security summit took place in the same region last year. Yeah. And then I told you again that the 6 commissioners were in that event. I told you again, the Inspector General of Police was not there, but he was highly represented by senior officers. But in this case, he was not there. That to show that he does not have interest. He don't like what is happening. Okay? You see, let me tell you something. We cannot continue to support illegality. Extortion and no return action. It's illegality. Anything that is not according with the law, what is it? It's illegal. That is why that's why I think that the Inspector General of Police wasn't there.
Okay, let me just take an excerpt of some of the things that came forth in that meeting. The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, says he said that all the traditional rulers are in support of AMOTEKUN. The federal government is not opposed to it. And he went on to say, this is quoting him now, let all and sundry support it for peace to reign in the region. As a matter of fact, he was there. So what do you say about that?
Yes. Let me quickly tell you something. Yes. Let me quickly say something. We know what has been happening, that the presidency does not like the idea of state police. Because it is not in the law.
But we haven't gotten any spokesperson from the presidency.
It will come up.
Making a comment or a statement
in this
direction.
Now
hold on. Why I'm a little bit concerned about this is that, or I believe that tacitly the federal government is in support of it, even if they have not come out to say it in the open, is the fact that the launch has taken place. Facilities and equipment like vehicles, they've been acquired. Exactly. You see them on the screen now. Personnel have been employed, have been engaged. And then one of a very erudite professor says something that the modus operandi of this Western Nigerian security network is going to be different from what OPC was known for, or other, socio-cultural groups in the guise of security were known for. That these guys are going to be trained by professionals, operating professionally to complement what is already in existence. So I don't know what you make of. Let me come to Vice Gentleman Amego. Yes.
Well, sir, you see, whether it's Pedro who is just one individual, yes, he's the head of the police, but other policemen were there. If they were asked, if Inspector wasn't in support, he should have said to them, no policeman must be in that area.
Well,
they were all there.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Just hold
they
on,
were
just
all
hold
there.
on.
The policemen were there, and he has to take responsibility. If he doesn't want to take responsibility, then who sent the policemen? So the fact that he was personally present or not, he's just also arguing three governors were there. That's irrelevant. Other deputies were there. Commissioners were there. These are the mouthpiece of the governor. And of course, buying all those vehicles, did you see the vehicles? Very many vehicles. The governors contributed. It was not FIMA alone that bought all the vehicles. All the other governors contributed, even from Lagos. So there is no need to exclude any particular state in that regard. All of them are part of that AMOTEKUN. But, like I said, federal government has not said anything. My brother is just saying federal government will say something. That's being presumptive.
Absolutely.
We don't know if they will say, they could have said it earlier on. I tell you, look at what happened right now internationally. For if you can veer off a while. A plane was shot down in Iran. And Trump said it was Iran that did it. It's an intelligence report. That's what I call it. It's an intelligence report. People thought Trump was making noise. Today, Prime Minister of Canada confirmed and said they have information. Where are our policemen? Where is the intelligence branch of our policemen? And only this morning, Khomeini confessed we shot the plane down.
Yeah, unintentionally.
Unintentionally. Only this morning.
Yeah.
And so this is based on intelligence report that those heads of state came up with. Do we have any intelligence report in this country?
We do.
Where
Except
are
maybe
they?
we need to make it more effective and efficient.
Okay, we don't.
Yes,
when you
yes.
have the DSS. The DSS you find them in marketplaces going to arrest market women. That's all they do.
But gentlemen,
I'm sorry.
There's no basis for that comparison.
No.
I'm sure we haven't heard that in recent times. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
But I know the point you're trying to raise.
That's right. They
Yes.
are supposed to be in the intelligence camp of the federal government.
Absolutely.
But that's not what they do. They don't come and tell you, Duke, I'm a DSS, I'm an SSS. You don't know SSS when we were growing up. But today they come to introduce themselves to I'm an SSS. And you start hailing him because he's an SSS. It's not you or Duke that we're asking you to come and arrest. Go and give intelligence report to presidency, to the government house, so that they can get all these criminals arrested.
Okay.
That's what we are saying. So look at him. Look at the AMOTEKUN. These people can go into any country, any village, any town, and take over the place.
Okay.
So
all right.
let's
Look at a line of reasoning, which is that this region is also we are aware, of course, that the region still has Odua People's Congress,
Precisely.
which many have also dubbed to be an ethnic security outfit. All right, and then at some point it was factionalized, and then you have this new launch of a security. So how do you think all of this will function in the region? Isn't this, giving a sense of militarization
Yes.
of the region with all this, security outfits?
You see, the situation Nigeria and Nigerians have found themselves called for all these issues. My people say a woman saw snake. A man saw snake, and the woman killed the snake. So far, the snake did not go to bite somebody. So anything it will cost to ensure the protection of life and property of the people of that region, I will encourage them to employ it.
even outside the law.
I will encourage them to employ it. The outfit itself is outside the law. So there is no issue of talking about law now. Because if we now want to talk about the law, if you go to court, then it will be disbanded, because there's no constitutional provision that any state should have, whether vigilante or whatever name you call it. Yes. But challenges have brought it to bear. So what we need now as a challenge to complement these police and other security agencies is to encourage this outfit and amend our laws to encourage them. Before now, before 1960, 1963, we have our police, regional police. We have regional police. Okay. It was after the army came on board, then they now amalgamized everybody to become Nigeria police. Yeah. So that time, they know your village. They know everywhere. If they enter village, nobody will return from the farm that time. They say, policeman, come to your village. Everybody will sleep in the farm. You understand? That was what was
okay. Let's take some time now to entertain some calls. I know that in the course of the conversation so far, you've been itching to contribute to the discussion. But just to set the record straight, that AMOTEKUN, which is the Western Nigeria Security Network, which was launched on Thursday in Oyo State, that's the in Ibadan, that's the capital of Oyo State, headed by PDP Governor Seyi Makinde. That's a man after my heart because of some of the things the guy has done recent time. I mean, I can't recall if there's any governor who has openly come out to declare his assets. The assets that he declared runs into billions of naira, but he declared it. Yes. He promised he was going to do that. He's done that. I mean, that's just set him apart. I don't know so much about him. I don't know him from anywhere, but we're looking at based on what he said he's going to do and what is and he did it. Yeah. Then again, you also had Dr. Kaide Fami of Ekiti State, who was also there, and then Rotimi Akeredolu, the trio of Boyega Oyetola of Osun State, and that of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and then of course Dakpo Abiodun of Ogun State were not there, and they cited the state of the weather. Of course, you know, it's Harmattan season. You know, it's kind of dangerous and challenging to fly. But anyway, they were all there. You can see some of them talking. So we'd like to get your perspective on some of the issues that we've conversed this morning, discussed this morning. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and then go ahead with your contribution. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Sir.
Bishop Biso, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure. I greet you. I greet your birthday.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Now, if you have a parent who have a child who is academically sound, and the parent refuse to pay his school fees, and the son now decides to ensure that he makes get some menial jobs in order to sponsor himself. Has that child done anything that's wrong? No, the child has not done anything that is wrong. The same thing is applicable to what is happening in Nigeria today. The Southwest governors and the traditional rulers, they have done the right thing. Because the situation whereby people are being killed, and nothing seems to be happening, or very little things seem to be happening. And people have to now find solutions to their problem. And that's what they have done. If somebody says that it is unlawful, well, there's something has been launched. The Secretary of Police, the SSS, and others did not come out to say that it is an illegal something. Nobody has made any statement like that. Okay. I think the only thing we can tell ourselves is that we should preach this gospel to other areas, like the South, East, and so on and so forth. Thank you, God bless all of you.
Thank you, Bishop Biso, joining us live from Sapogida Ora to express his views and opinions on the conversation on politics today. Caller, tell us your name, where you're calling from. Please turn down the audio level on your TV or radio to remove the echo. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Otumba Mike Aladenika.
Otumba Mike Aladenika is a former NUJ chairman, Edo State Council, also a leader in the NUJ family. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much. Compliments and decision.
Same to you.
And your guests at the studio there.
Thank you.
I have followed closely the line of discussions on this matter.
Yes.
The coming up of AMOTEKUN security aspects of the Southwest.
Yes.
let all of us come to the table and discuss one important thing. We have a security challenge in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
So for as long as we have a security challenge in Nigeria, and we know there are little bit embarrassing that is not making our security outfit to address this problem, either nationwide or individual. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So at each location, there are peculiarities in your environment. For example, in your neighborhood where you live in, you know yourself. So even if they put a policeman from A division to your area, you may not be able to get to the root of issues in your area.
Yes.
So what am I trying to say? In the past few months and years, we have been faced with challenges security-wise. And this Southwest governors met at this security conference, where stakeholders were represented. It was at that conference this decision was taken that, okay, we have vigilantes in the various communities in the Southwest, in the various local governments in the Southwest, in the various cities in the Southwest. And come to think of it, even these vigilantes, not only in the Southwest, have been formally registered with the police. I stand to be corrected.
You're very correct.
The coming up of AMOTEKUN is harmonizing the various vigilante groups under one umbrella. For example, you say in Ondo State, all registered vigilante groups come under this government umbrella. We want to know all of you. You have is it VPN? Some of them are in negotiation. Some of them are group OPC.
Yes.
And vigilante group.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
of them are in negotiation. And there are so many of them. Okay, now let us identify you. You've been identified. Okay, now let us put you all of you under one security umbrella.
Yes.
Where you can take orders and controls. Okay? Then we now know the let us assume that something happens in the Ekiti state, between the Ekiti and Ondo state. We will know who are the vigilante people there.
To connect with.
Then, yes, to connect with them. They say the Otuma Makaladinka is the head of vigilante in that area. Then they go put him. Otuma please provide us information on this matter. It is when you begin to politicize this that we find it difficult to solve these our inherent problems in Nigeria.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
For example, now you are saying that the governor of Lagos State was not there, the governor of Osun State was not there, and the governor of
Ogun State
were not there. These are political things. For example, I read that Tinubu was in Lagos and he was in Abuja to deny his involvement. That he doesn't know anything about it.
Okay, all right. All right, Otuba, thank you. Otuba, thank you. I think, I mean, you just encapsulated all the thoughts together to drive the conversation in the direction that was on, when we started, and that this is basically a coordination center, so to speak, for the vigilante group that are already in existence in the Southwest. So only time will tell if this is in agreement with some of the objectives that have been set by the governors of the Southwest. Thank you so much, Michael Adenika, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll take just another call, and then we'll be back to our panelists in the studio here. Hello, caller, good morning.
Good morning. This is Adamu calling from Edo State.
All right, please go ahead.
Based on the issue of this recent launch of security just that we are talking about.
Yes.
Well, to me, if you ask me, based on the security challenges we have in the country now, I will clearly tell you there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Because it's the duty of the governor of the state to protect the life and property of its citizens. We already hello.
You're live. Go ahead. We're listening to you. Oh, you should have just continued. You should just continue with your comments.
No, but
yeah. I think so. Along the line, the call just. Okay. Let's see who our next caller is. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm calling from Efoma.
Go ahead, please.
This is Eddie McCauley. Now, I listened to one of the panelists here talking about obey, the constitution, the Nigerian constitution. He's talking about why are we not obeying the law.
Yeah.
But let me call the ask. Tell me, the government in power today, does it obey the law of the land? Now, if
The government does. I mean,
obey the law that the government themselves doesn't have to obey. The AMOTEKUN is, for me, it's a welcome development.
okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay, so gentlemen, final thoughts as we call it a wrap on Politics Today on independent television and radio. Yes, we know for sure that almost every state has a vigilante group registered within the laws of the land. And this new security network is coming under that platform. So what is the illegality that Bishop Akarame talked about?
Well, I told you initially when we started the issue of state police.
Yes.
And I told you again that the new security outfit we have in the West now is not different from the state police we're talking about. That is why they have to collaborate, bring their effort together, synergize to see how they can have that region security outfit. Is it the same state police?
In line with the existing vigilante group kind of thing that's...
Well, in as far as I am concerned, this is not vigilante group.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
This is a different security outfit.
You have been presumption.
Why
don't you look at the terms and letters?
Let me take
Are you going to know more than those who put it together?
Let me tell you. See, every armed robber that steal will tell you the reason why he steal. So give you reason, you will wait for them. Oh, this is the reason why you stole. Oh my God, God will have provided for you. So that's what I told you. Anybody that have done something wrong, if you interview that person, he will tell you this is the reason why I did it. You even sorry for him. So come on, I understand why you did it. Everybody have reasons.
So are you saying that Western governors don't have enough justification?
Let me tell you something.
No, hold on. They don't have enough justification for setting up
Let me tell you something. They do have. They do have.
They do?
They do have. Okay. They do have to them.
Okay.
But we, like me, I have told you initially when I in my inauguration, I told you the reasons why I am not in support of this new security outfit. I told you, it's not as if it's bad. It's not bad after all. But I've told you again that the maturity, we are Nigerians, you know. Every average Nigeria don't feel that they exist. The reason why they are in existence is to make money. So every average Nigerian don't feel that
there is no correlation. Correlation between the subject and the issue of making money.
It is because by the time the governors cannot pay these people, who will pay them? You that no. We don't see a situation whereby we are going to compound our problem. That's where I am talking about. So let me I don't want a situation whereby when we begin to compound our problem, because at the time they cannot pay these guys what is due to them in terms of salary, they will use the weapon against us.
That's what you are foreseeing in the future.
That's what I'm saying.
All right,
they will use that weapon against us. Let
me get the final thoughts of Gentleman Amengo. Well, I would like to know this has come to stay, particularly in the Western
stay if they can sustain it.
If they can sustain it.
If they can sustain it,
there's the possibility of other regions
also copy.
So what does that portend?
But to say that it's not vigilante troubles my mind. Anything outside the police is vigilante. Okay. So these groups, the other police, whatever name, Wabaizigan, they are all vigilante. Expected to complement the police. But as time goes on, will they sustain it? If they cannot sustain it, the fallout will be on all of us. That's my worry. So today was good. Everybody is saying it's good. But I am saying it was not set up within the law. And so anything that is not within the law is part of it. If they are stakeholders, so they will go to court. AMOTEKUN will be dissolved. I know that.
All right. Let me come to Bishop Osadolo Che. Yes. Sustainability of this. You had said earlier that you're 100% in support of what has happened in the Southwest. We're foreseeing the possibility of replication of this in other regions. What does that portend for the current security arrangements that we have in the country?
First and foremost, I've said I love it and I encourage it. I will also encourage every other region to synergize and put their own security outfit in place for the purpose of protection of lives and properties. Because these people will be able to reach to the hinterland, to the interiors, to places the conventional Nigerian police cannot reach. Because these people are from the environment, they know themselves. Okay. They know who is a criminal within that environment. Okay. So their presence will pose as a threat to crime and criminality.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So they should continue.
Okay.
Whether they'll be able to sustain it, let us wait to be able to get
Time will
All right.
tell.
Okay, now I've got a couple of messages that came through our WhatsApp platform. This one says, I strongly have zero expectations or projections for the year 2020. Okay. You can just imagine us entering the new year with the increment of VAT from 5% to 7.5%, the increment of electricity tariff, poor governance, defilement of the rule of law, etc. Seriously, we are crawling in the community of nations. This is from egalitarianism. That's the name you call yourself. Anyway, this one says, may things that the palpable apprehension of the entrenched hegemonic oligarchy interest of the North over the decision of the Southwest governors to deploy their regional security apparatus is a direct fallout of the moribund fear of them losing their stranglehold on the firm control of the nation's hitherto unitary security architecture vis-a-vis the master-servant relationship that has become our unfortunate albatross as a nation. The new security initiative is necessitated by the very urgent need to burst the sinister forays of the killer Fulani headsmen in the region. It is instructive to state that this positive development signals the gradual titling of the nation towards full restructuring and will herald the advent of the same trend across other regions of the country. This is coming from Engineer Osas Uselu Benisi. For a moment, I thought it was Barrister Patrick Obayabon that sent this message. Anyway, the security outfit in Southwest may have its bad and good sides, but does the security outfit has a legal backing to function? Will it not cause more divides among Nigerians, mostly in the regional lines? Does it not buttress that our federal government security outfit is on a sharp decline? Will this policy not end up with a policy somersault? My questions are begging for answers. This is from egalitarianism. Again, thank you. Good morning, Sonny. The security outfit is a welcome development. I want to urge other zones to follow suit. Okay. My name is Joseph from Benin City. Thank you, gentlemen, for all the contributions, and big thanks to our panelists, Bishop Sadolo Oche, Bishop Akalame, and Pastor Gentleman Amengo. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
For a long while. Okay, that's our show today. And big thanks to all our crew behind the scene that made the show a huge success. Have a great weekend, and bye for now.